Alright, hello and welcome to this week's wrap-up. So, big, large, significant progress has been made this weekend. So, first things first, we had just gotten to Jupiter as of the last breakdown, and I had not really done much there. So, we busted out, did Europa, got to the Void, did Saturn, did Uranus, did Neptune, got to Pluto. Haven't done much here. I've done some invasions over here in business, but we just got to Pluto. That being said, that is a whole heck of a lot of progress. And that was great. We did the second dream, which means that we have a new thing to mess about with that I have not messed about too much with yet. And that is our operator. We made this creature for funsies. Probably don't do what I did to the operator, which unlocks focus. So we picked Zenrik, which is what I would absolutely suggest any new player pick. With some possible exceptions, maybe you would want to go Naramon. But Zenrik is the most generally and overall useful class to go into. And that is because of energy overflow. Because once you can get to this, getting energy per second is very, very good for a very, very large amount of Warframes, because that's real solid. It's also really cheap to get to. Right off the bat, you can immediately unlock that and just put all of your points directly into Energy Overflow and just work on maxing that out, which is what I would definitely suggest anyone who's just getting into their focus to do, because it's very, very useful. But let's talk a little bit more how to actually get these points. So, for these schools, you're not going to be able to unlock those until a little bit later, and you're only going to start with one lens for Zenrik at the end of the second Dream Quest. The way to get more is after the War Within with sorties, as sorties can award more lenses, and they will often do that long into whenever you would rather they not. So, that's how you're going to get points for these, and you're only going to start with one Zenrik lens. So, that means one Warframe is going to be able to get you focus points. Basically, it works in that converting affinity experience into focus points at a rate, which is pretty okay. Generally, there are a couple different Warframes that are really, really good at farming focus. There is Equinox. Equinox is fantastic at it. Just by farming some missions you would farm anyway, you can absolutely just instantly max out your focus with her. Albeit she's pretty hard to farm, and that build's a little advanced. It has a lot of higher rank stuff in it, let's say. Although I've acquired a lot of that now, so it's a thing you could go for. Equinox is one of the harder Warframes to build, but if you think that she's going to be fun, that could be a thing you could shoot for before you dedicate your lens to a Warframe. If you still have Excalibur, which I would highly advise that you do, Excalibur is a fantastic choice, because the way that the affinity distribution works on Excalibur is that whenever we look at his abilities here, his Exalted Blade, if you're killing things with his Exalted Blade, all of the experience, or pretty much all of the experience, is going directly to your Warframe, which means if you do some hardcore mass murder as Excal with a lens in him with your Exalted Blade, you're going to get a really good amount of focus from that. It'll take a little bit longer than some other frames, but if you've got Excal kicking around and you've put a little work into him, as we have, Excal has received a reactor and is well on his way to becoming, well, he kind of is right now. He's kind of, you could slaughter some shit pretty hard right now with this. It's pretty good. I got an energy siphon, which is really nice. That's that energy per second, always good. A solid aura, one of the best. Glad that I picked that up. I went and farmed Rage out of the Void, which we're going to talk a little bit about exactly where you can get this, because there's some finicky stuff with it. Hello, this is an abrupt cut because I actually forgot to talk about this later in the video, so we're going to talk about it right now. So for farming mods from the Void, I did everything on Uko. It's worth noting that the first branch here has Teshub and Hepit, which are really good nodes, but the problem with farming these nodes for their containers is that they are too low level. You need missions to be at least level 20 in order to give you the entire breadth of mods that Orokin containers can give you, which means that you can start on this branch here if you would like to farm those mods. Downside to this branch is that it has bad game modes. In that Sabotage is really not good for farming crates, just because of the like tiles that are usually going to spawn in Sabotage are really not helpful for it, and it's kind of a long mission. This is Mobile Defense, which is too fucking long a mission, and this is Survival, which is way too fucking long a mission. If you get to Neptune first and get to Uko is a perfect length mission, as in very goddamn short. If you have a Heck, the capture target will be no problem. You don't have to fight anyone else. And you can just seek out those treasure rooms and break those containers and get that stuff. So yeah, Uko is definitely my suggested node if you're going to be looking to farm the containers from the Void. That's where I got my Rage and a ton of other mods. So yeah, back to the video proper. And then we're going to, whenever I get Constitution, and that's going to replace Equilibrium on this build. Constitution is a Nightmare mod, which we already talked about last week. You should definitely be farming those. I haven't been lucky in getting Constitution, but that's okay. Things I have been lucky in getting, I got Fleeting Expertise. This is a Corrupted mod. Obviously, we went over how to farm those, and I have that video up on the channel if you'd like to go see how to farm the Dragon Vaults, or the Corrupted Vaults, whatever you want to call them. That's really good. And I bought 2 Streamlines, which is important as well. Having 2 Streamlines and 2 Fleeting Expertise is preferred, but 1 is totally fine. As you can see, I don't have Fleeting Expertise or Streamline maxed out, and there's good reason for that. So, at rank 4, this gives 50-50. It gives you 50% ability efficiency and negative 50% ability duration. Duration is something that you definitely want on Xcal because your 2 relies on it for a longer stun. And beyond that, too much negative duration is going to be turned into negative efficiency for your 4 on Xcal because it's a channeled ability. Also, if you have positive duration, having plus 50% and plus 25% lets you hit the efficiency cap of 175%. So that's going to minimize our cost of all of our abilities, which is very important. So once I have Constitution in here, I'll be over 100% duration, and everything will be awesome with this build. That'll be kind of my ideal budget build for Xcal. I have the exact amount of points I need to get to that point. The reason that you would want a higher level Fleeting Expertise and Streamline is for whenever you have Warframes that you don't care about duration. If you put in a max level Fleeting and a max level Streamline, the negative duration won't hurt any of your abilities' efficiency. So Warframes that don't care about duration as much can totally tank that and not worry about it. Equinox is an example of that, as we talked about her before. But yeah, anyway, I am going to put my 1 lens right now into Xcal. And of course, you can buy some greater lenses if you want to. If you've got Platinum on hand, if you're trading for it, that's totally reasonable to do. But you're going to get some from sorties, so don't worry about it. It's not like a cash-only deal. Speaking of cash-only deals, let's go over here. So, in farming for a lot of corrupted stuff, I have 2 extra Fleeting Expertise, a bunch of Spoiled Strikes, got one overextended, so I don't have extras of that. I got some extra Heavy Calibers, and I got 1 extra Narrow-Minded. I haven't leveled a Narrow-Minded yet, because as you can see, it's a little... I'm only going to rank 8, and it's a little out of my price range right now. Little out of my price range at the current time. And also, you can see here, very well illustrated for anyone who's just starting out. Please, God, do not, like, rank 10 any mods, because it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Because you'll see that this goes from about 400k credits and, like, 8,000 endo to 30k and 1.4 million. To hold off, this mod's perfectly fine at rank 8, and those resources can go somewhere much better until you're way, way wealthier, which will come. So yeah, don't go crazy with maxing out these rank 10s. Like, trust me, you can hold off on Vitality for a while, definitely. Mine's only rank 4, and it's right where I want it. So yeah, we got some Blind Rages, which are good. A lot of these corrupted mods sell for a pretty penny. For example, right now, these 2 extra Fleeting Expertise represent about 40 platinum each that I can make, and like 80 platinum right now, pretty solid. That's slots, that's reactors, that's catalysts if I need them. Which is really nice. And then like some other mods like Blind Rage I think sells for about like 30, 35 right now. I could even be lowballing that. It might be 40 up where Fleeting is. Narrow-Minded also a good price at like around 30 to 40. Yeah, that stuff is all super solid. It's worth noting that when I bought 2 Streamlines, if you're going to do anything at all, you can sell a mod that is very, very cheap and get Streamline if you don't have it. Streamlines, when I bought them, were 2 platinum each, which is totally reasonable because people have tons of them, and it's good to see people selling them at like a reasonable value. But if you get unlucky as a new player and like don't happen upon one out of like your spy vaults and stuff, definitely sell something like basic and pick up 2 of these because you're gonna need them, and then you can sell some of yours down the line. It's whatever. But yeah, that is what's going on there. I'm gonna be selling a lot of those mods. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I put out. If anyone wants to buy those fleetings, just hit me up on the Discord. I put a little thing of what I'm selling up on the Discord. If you want to buy one of the things I farmed, I'm not gonna tell you no at a reasonable price at like Warframe.market value. Don't overpay me. That's not allowed. That breaks the rules of this free-to-play. But yeah, otherwise, some other builds that we got. We got Broken War. You get this as a reward for completing the second dream. Getting this is like the big point where Excal suddenly becomes, oh, okay, here we go. Because they give you a free thing with a weapon slot and a catalyst, which is huge. That also with that, Broken War is a fantastic weapon. So I'll be using this as my stat stick for Excal for the time being. I don't have a stance for this, or rather, I do have Iron Phoenix for this, but Iron Phoenix is a really bad stance, and it's worth noting that Broken War's innate moveset is Vengeful Revenant, which is better than Iron Phoenix by a country mile, even with it adding a couple points to this. So I'm just going to wait until I get one of the good stances if I'm going to put a stance in this at all, because it's just not worth it to add Iron Phoenix right now. The only thing that this build is really missing is Life Strike, so that I can heal. That's like all that I would want for my stat stick at the current time, and then this is going to be in an absolutely perfect spot for where I am right now. Obviously, Life Strike is just healing, so this is going to kick out plenty of damage. If you're looking for a tool to absolutely slaughter some goddamn sentients, this plus this build on Excal, sentients gonna die. They're gonna be dead. They're gonna be very dead. You're gonna pull out your Exalted Blade, you're gonna blind them, and you're gonna kill them in like 2 swings. It's not gonna be a big deal. Eliminate. Excal does absolutely massive damage. You'll be just fine if you're looking for an easy way to kill sentients. Other than that, I'm preparing for LOR and stuff on Rhino. I need Constitution for this, and then this build is going to be done. And then this will be a total, like this empty slot, Constitution. Once I get that, it'll fit with my current capacity. Otherwise, this build right here, perfect for LOR. No changes are going to be needed. I'll be just fine. I would actually, like, this is a good CC build once you have that on there. There are some other things that you could change if you really wanted to, but honestly, more than that is not really needed to be a CC Rhino in LOR, so that's what I'm going to be going for that. In general, though, this is my build. It still has Thieves' Wit in it because I don't want to miss anything, and I've been running the Void a lot to get a lot of parts. Fleeting Expertise maxed out goes in this, which is worth noting because you want the cheapest Iron Skin you can get is the preferred one. But I do have Mobilize in here instead of Streamline right now just for going fast. Some range is always good, so you can spam that for. A little bit of strength for a little bit tougher Iron Skin. And then, of course, I got like the armor and health in here. I will say that I will probably get rid of this in favor of a Narrow-Minded in the future. But I have not fully decided on whether or not that is going to be the case yet. Because I'm also going to be getting rid of Thieves' Wit for one of the augment mods for Rhino when I get it. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done here. Just leveling stuff, as you might imagine. I am currently building quite a few things. Doing a bunch of runs. Obviously, I built a bunch of these. I got the Fragor built. That's ready to get leveled after I'm done with these dual Ether Blades. I got a Glaive from an Alert. If that dual-wielding update drops, I'll be having fun trying that out. Building the Marilock. So the thing about building the Marilock is... the Marilock is a really, really good weapon, and the important thing about it is that it's MR5. So if we go over here, one of the challenges that we need to do for the Pluto Junction is to craft a weapon requiring Master Rank 5 or higher. The Marilock fills that. Marilock's also pretty simple to build. I will say if you want a longer term build, because at MR6, I would very much suggest you get a Vacor Marilock. If you want a much longer term weapon, the Staticore, which you can get from the dojo, or as well as like the Marilock. The Staticore, if you want to farm out the materials for the Staticore is a weapon that can last significantly longer. It's one of the best secondaries in the game. So having that and a Vacor Marilock, they both do kind of different things. So if you are planning to get a couple secondaries, you're really gonna like be using a lot. Staticore and the Vacor Marilock, once you hit MR6, is a really good combination, as the Staticore has a good amount of AoE, whereas the Vacor Marilock is all about like big raw damage in general. Although the Staticore is not really lacking in that department either, I'll be honest. But But yeah, so that's why I'm building the Murloc, is because it's really good here. Going to get it for the Mastery, and then sell it once I get the Vacor, but that'll be a really easy weapon to level because it's a really good weapon. And then on the next stream, we need to kill Lephantis, we need to open some Neo Relics, need to do Stoufler, and we need to do Vahek on Earth. So yeah. Big progress will be made next time. The War Within will almost certainly be done next stream. Pretty much without fail. Oh, also, a thing I forgot to mention in this, like, things I'm currently building. I'm building Nyx. Nyx is a Warframe that I just kind of happen into. Whenever the Infested invade a boss node, you'll fight forward there. He's a very easy boss, and usually the reward is worth it. So I fought him, got Nyx. Nyx is now building. Nyx is generally very cheap resources-wise and is a good thing to level. Also, if you end up liking Nyx a lot, if you trade for her Assimilate Augment, she's a very, very strong Warframe. I would say without her Assimilate Augment, she's only mediocre, but with the Assimilate Augment, there are some big merits to playing as Nyx, I would say. So that's good. And then, oh, also worth noting, I'm building Derelict Assassinate keys as I am going to need to fight Lephantis. The way you get the materials... Oop, claim it, please. Doesn't want to claim it. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. The way you get these Lephantis nav coordinates are from doing these, like, Orokin Derelict capture missions. As you can see, I have a bunch of regular nav coordinates, which you get from just any mission in the star chart, which allows you to build these Derelict keys. Then you build these, go to the Derelict, and then you're going to find Lephantis nav coordinates. As you can see, I have plenty of them because we did plenty of Corrupted runs. And then that's how you can fight Lephantis if you're looking to farm Necros. But yeah. Whoa. Big progress. Yeah, also my Hek, the current state of it is this. I'm really trying to find that electric mod for my Hek, not gonna lie, because that would put me into some of the better damage types, but haven't been lucky on getting the electric damage to drop for me, which is a bit unfortunate. And same with the more multi-shot for shotguns, which I haven't gotten a hold of yet. Overall, though, this build still absolutely fucking like annihilates shit. Like things don't survive this Hek for the most part. So yeah, but yeah, that is a lot of things, many things happening. Also, of course, I'm still working on this, maxed out my standing for the day and all that business. But yeah, many things were done. Lots of progress was made. Big stuff. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Or, well, probably today. I'm probably streaming today if you want to come check it out. I'm over on Twitch, you know, doing my dang old thing. But yeah, later, everybody.